This is Discovery with a K.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome back to a new episode of Discovery with a K. I'm Kathleen,
My name is Ilse.
and today we are talking about the albums of 2025, the first half, that have absolutely captivated us. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, music has been great for the K-pop scene for the first half of this year. I think that we can
Pop
both
has
agree.
been popping off,
Indeed,
to
indeed.
say it in Gen Z
Gen
or
Z
millennial
lingo.
lingo.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's been a good couple of months for sure.
Indeed. That we have decided to list our favorite K-pop albums or EPs or minis that have been put out up until the first half of 2025. We're filming this in June, so we are excited. Honestly, the quality is insane, and I am looking forward to the summer heat of this year as well. So let's see how that evolves.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see which one it will be
Right.
because there's some really good music coming out.
I know there's a couple of
So,
comebacks that I am looking forward to. So this is a very
Mhm.
exciting time. If you've been a K-pop fan for a long time, you know about the summer hits. You know it.
You do, yeah.
So shall we
So,
start with this? So maybe to change this up, can you share your first favorite of the K-pop
I'll
world?
do the honors. And I want to start with NMIX and
Okay.
their album FE304 Forward, which is the last installment of their FE304 series.
Okay.
This was released in March, has 6 tracks. The mini album went double platinum
Oh
in
wow.
Korea, sold 500K units according to the KMCA, which is the Korean Music Content Association. And I want to share some of my favorite
Okay.
tracks.
Tell me.
All right, the opening track, High Horse, is the one that initially hooked me in
Okay.
because this is all about like power vocals, insane vocal stacking, and they did like a performance video
Okay.
that just oh, it's so pretty. The choreography is insane and it
Yes.
just it has such a magical essence to it.
No, definitely.
They had me under their spell with this one. Know About Me was their title track.
Yeah.
Really cool, more trap-based drums, bold synth sounds, and it sounded so fresh and familiar at the same time.
Okay.
And it was so well executed that I thought it was pretty brilliant, and I had a really good time listening to it. And then I think probably High Horse is my favorite track.
Okay.
And then my second favorite track is Papillon, which has this like insane opening, which was created by warping all of the members' vocals together,
Oh.
which was so sick when I
Yes.
discovered that. I was like, yes, that is amazing.
Very interesting
Give
as
me
well.
more. So I listened to it on a loop for like an hour.
Relatable, yes.
Yeah. So, anyways, I think with NMIX, I wasn't a fan from their debut.
Yeah.
It was like, it wasn't for me. It was not my cup of tea.
Fair enough.
But this, they have me. I'm convinced.
Well, NMIX
Like,
was
I'm
for
on the
me.
NMIX train.
I really love their edgy stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, this was a fantastic mini album, and I'm like, if this isn't on my Spotify Wrapped at the end of the year, I would be very surprised.
Something is wrong going there.
Yeah, like they're not counting it correctly.
Yes.
So yeah. What about yours?
What about yes? Well, this first release, it's been a release that I had been looking forward for literal years. So let's talk about G-Dragon's Übermensch. So anticipated comeback from the king itself, himself. We know him, you know him, we all know him. If you know a little bit about K, you know about G-Dragon. I think that's a given. Okay.
Yeah.
This album had a total of 8 singles and only a couple of features. Okay, so I will divide this album in two different sections. First section is the pre-release songs because we have quite a few, and the new singles. Just to get these out of the way, I won't talk about all of them. But I will talk about the ones that had the most impact for me, because this album is honestly really good end to end, but these tracks, they have like the highest impact for me as a listener and as a long time G-Dragon fan. Okay, this album also went double platinum. He sold over 500,000 units, and in the Nemo region of South Korea, it went platinum with 250,000. It sold quite a bit. I'm quite sure it's higher. I don't even know where was the.
I don't think it accounts for the international
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that album was really hard to get. Okay. So let's talk about the two different, the first category, pre-release songs. So we have the first one, Power, which marked his comeback. This was his comeback into the music scene. It was released back in October 2024, and it was a reawakening of a fandom that had been sleeping. Okay, or they had been just elsewhere with other groups like me. Yeah. So this track is all about power, indeed.
Whoa!
And I feel like with this song, it was GD's way to tease the haters and prove once again that he's a trendsetter. And he proved it, okay? So he was basically saying, I felt like he was saying, hello, I'm here, I'm back, and I'm still it. And I would be like, yes, King, you are. Second song I want to talk about is the second pre-release single, song Home Sweet Home. This was released in November 2024, just a couple of days before the Mama Awards, which honestly iconic. And this song was originally meant to be a Big Bang song back in the day. However, GD kept it and released it as a soloist, but featuring Taeyang and Daesung. Love this song. Okay, this song lyrically has so many theories behind it. I lean towards a couple more than other ones, but if you want to know about the theories behind Home Sweet Home, just honestly go to Reddit. They're all there. Yes. However, for me as a VIP, that being for most of my time in K-pop, because actually all my time in K-pop, because Big Bang was the one that decided for me I was going to be a fan. For me, it felt like a welcome home from G-Dragon himself. So it felt like,
that is so cute.
Welcome back. If you want to come back, we're here. All of it was super beautiful. The lyrics, the vocals, the sectioning, all of it amazing. And the chemistry between Daesung, Taeyang, and G-Dragon is just wholesome, and I love them very, very much. Okay. About the new singles.
That's so cute. Yeah, I'm feeling emotional.
Yes. Believe me, I cried already watching the mama, so it's fine. So about the new singles, let's talk about the title track, Too Bad, featuring Anderson .Paak. Iconic single. So catchy. So catchy. It is insane.
Really, really, really good. Yeah.
It's like an earworm, you know? It's like, it just stays there, and then you just want to group, you know? Love it. This track is such a vibe listen. I love it so much. I think it's still on the charts even. That's how iconic it is. Second song I want to talk about is Drama. I think I also spoke about it in my favorite releases of the month it was released. Because it's the most sentimental side of GD, and I love how he brings in Japanese, Chinese, and Korean, also English, into this track. Multilingual king. Love it. And it's just so artsy. This single itself is just a mix of languages, the direction, all of it feels very artsy, very G-Dragon, so I really, really liked it. Last, I want to talk about Bonamana, because it's more on his acoustic side, and this took me back to, it's not really the same vibe, but the same acoustic feel to it of That XX, which is an old song of G-Dragon, and I adore that song. Adore it. I love it, love it. Is this one, Bonamana, is more his acoustic side with a low-belly guitar. Maybe that's why it reminded me of That XX, because of the guitar. Super good. The vocal progression is awesome, and the rap and the sectioning in this single is so fabulous. Love it. So that was it for my first album. Now, tell me about your second album.
We're going for another double platinum seller.
Yes.
But really, the taste.
Indeed.
This time I want to recommend the album Hot by the Seraphim.
Oh, yes.
This was also released in March and is also the last part of their trilogy. We're really closing chapters in March. It's crazy. This mini album had 5 tracks. We had Born Fire, Hot, Come Over, Ash, and So Cynical, Badum. They started the album again with spoken word, a bit like slam poetry, in English, Japanese, and Korean, telling the story of a fire burning, dying, turning to ashes, and being rekindled by someone's breath.
Oh, poetic.
So let's hope they didn't eat garlic, you know. Sorry. I wanted to talk about the 2 tracks, Hot, well, 3 tracks. Hot, Come Over, and Ash.
Okay.
Hot because it was the title track and it was just mwah, I loved it so much. It's just so iconic and so Le Seraphim at this point.
Yeah.
Brilliant title track. I also wanted to talk about Come Over because it was produced by the British band Jungle, whom I really like. They went viral on TikTok for one of their tracks. And it really has this like vintage and dreamy feel to it.
Okay.
A lot of synths there. And I feel like it was really nicely made, which makes for a really nice listen as well. And then Ash, because it is like a dark synth pop moment, which was just lovely. And it's all about finding beauty and acceptance in pain. And the lyrics are actually quite nice, so definitely go give them a read. And I just imagine if it was like mixed in with a harder beat, this would go insane in a club.
Oh.
I could see myself dancing to it and amazing.
Maybe a remix.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Awesome. So yeah, that was it for Le Seraphim.
Okay. So let's move to another one of my obsessions, proven by my on repeat list in Spotify for the last few months, actually. So let's talk about Zero Base One and their EP Blue Paradise. If you've been listening to DisKovery with a K, you know I am a Zero Base One fan. Okay, they are on my top 3 groups. Okay, I love them. And Blue Paradise, it was such an amazing listen. So let's talk about first the certifications of Blue Paradise. It was a million seller in South Korea.
Wow.
So they did reach the
That's
million
crazy.
in South Korea. They sold more because honestly, this group is so cohesive and so good. They have such an amazing chemistry that no wonders, okay? So let's talk about the singles. So let's start with Blue. That is the title track, and it's such a beautiful listen. I don't know how to describe Blue in a way that gives it justice because it's a single that takes you through different feelings and emotions. So it's got like a soft feel but an upbeat rhythm at the same time. The arrangement of these singles just tickles the right parts of my brain, if you know what I mean. Okay, it's there specifically with certain sections on certain parts of the song. And the full feel is kind of melancholic somehow, but feel good, if you know what I mean. So this single is such beautiful, upbeat, kind of like hopeful as well, but at the same time has like these melancholic bits of it, more sentimental, and it's so beautifully done that is a total roller coaster for me as a listener.
Nice.
So I really love this single. Moving on is the second song, Devil Game. This one leans more on the H side of Zero Base One. The harmonies in this single are super sick. I love them, and it's got certain groovy progressions into it that I really appreciate as a listener. It's just a thing that I really love. The vocals are incredible. Zero Base One, they're incredible vocalists. And the harmonies and back vocals, chef kiss, just so good. Then we have a pre-release single called Doctor Doctor, which is more on the R&B pop side of Zero Base One. It's got a very soft arrangement with a beautifully done sectioning. The rapping sections are soft and emotional. It's not sort of like, the fire rapping is more like, let's be soft and emotional, kind of a rhythmic rapping. While the rest of the song is just smooth and very cohesive. Beautiful song as well. Now,
nice.
This EP also has subunits. So, I actually wrote about all the songs for this one because it's just an EP. Also, all of them has been on repeat on my playlist. Probably about 3 or 4 are in my top 10. So, Out of Love is an iconic pop rock single, and there's a great chemistry between the 3 vocalists. We have Shang Hao, Yoon, and Gyubin as a subunit for Out of Love, and they're just amazing. And I love the mixing and full kind of rock feel, but just something about this track is just amazing. Loved it. Step Back includes a Gongwook, Ricky, and Yuyin. It's groovy, it's fun, it's dreamy, it's very them. Very, very them. The bass line in this single is fantastic, and the progressions and the drop just super satisfying. You know, when a song just progresses to then drop and then they just roll it back, super satisfying to listen to.
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Last, I want to talk about the subunit Cruel, including Hanbin, Matthew, and Terry. Total anthem. This is a lot more like the rock, gonna be rock pop, iconic kind of vibe. And it's super angsty. And they made this single very playful as well. So I really, really, really loved it. So this is my second best album so far of 2025.
Nice. Me?
Yes.
All right. This is the only male group that I have in my list.
We're back to
my favorite.
We're
back to our original
yes.
roles. Yeah. So I wanted to talk about Caligo Part 1 by Plave.
Oh, yes.
Which, yeah, I know. I feel like I've spoken about this album so many times. I've sent you songs.
You're on the same boat with this one.
Yeah. This was released in February, is a million seller as well, which I'm so happy for them. It's
also, but not
so
surprised, you know, given the quality of that IP.
At the same time, I'm not surprised, but on the other hand, like, it's a virtual group.
It's a different concept indeed, yes.
Yeah. So, you know, I was expecting people to be more hesitant about it, but I think because there's real people behind the avatars, that it might be different. Either way, their vocals are undeniable.
Insane.
Like, they're super talented.
Yes.
The album starts with Chroma Drift, which is city pop heaven.
Love.
There's a saxophone that goes insane.
Yes.
A little bit of jazzy piano on the outro. And I think this kind of picked up on TikTok as well at one point.
Chroma Drift. Well, it's for sure picked up on my Spotify because it's also my top 10.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Dash is their title track, which goes for rock momentum with insane runs. And it's a track that you feel in your gut when you listen to it.
Okay.
It just makes you want to rage. Yeah, it's awesome. And then we have Raise, which is sexy, smooth, and fun. This is more hip hop focused, has some really satisfying rap verses. And hear me out. This is one of the lyrics, right? I'm a sweetie cupcake feeling like, hilarious. Had me in tears. Poetry. Listen to Island if you want to have like a power ballad, and listen to the closing track 1232 A to T for a soft ballad that just feels super, 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 super gentle. And honestly, listen to the full album because this is brilliant and one of my favorites of the first half of 2025.
Yes, and it's also a beautiful listen end to end.
Oh, so amazing.
Yes, it's one of my favorite albums to listen on the early morning, which is a bit odd, I know, but in the early morning it just feels...
Honestly, no, I get it. Yeah,
it's just a full progression of the album, specifically in between genres. It's just such a nice wake up. So it's one EP that I do have on repeat sometimes, like in the mornings I do listen to it. So nice. Shall we move to my third favorite album of 2025?
Yes, ma'am.
So let's talk about Mark, NCT Mark Boy.
Marky Boy.
So Mark released his first solo album, The First Fruit. And first of all, Mark as a soloist, he's been all over the place. Okay, so he's not putting... Well, he did put music out that I expected, but at the same time, other singles that I did not expect from Mark. So The First Fruit it's an album that is a lot more introspective than I thought it would be. Okay, it is quite a raw and honest release, and I was happily surprised, to be honest. I really like Mark's solo music in general, but this one was like different. It was very, very Mark. Okay, let me elaborate on that. So this album starts with a single called Toronto's Window, or Toronto's Window, depending if you're a Canadian, you probably would say Toronto's.
Toronto.
Yes, Window, which is the intro of the album, okay? It just Mark narrating with minimal instrumentals. And I feel like this single, it's very much Mark introducing of how this full album is to him. So this Toronto's Window is basically that. He's saying like, hey, this is about me. Let's move on. This song moves on to the title track, 1999. Absolute bob. It is so fun, that single. It is super fun. The full chorus is fantastic. The track stands out with its instrumental arrangements. There's an orchestra style accompaniment with it. And the hook is just so catchy. Ooh. Also went like viral on TikTok, and you couldn't escape from 1999. Next up, I want to talk about Flight to New York City. It is an ambient song, kind of like interlude style, if you know what I mean.
Lovely. Yes.
That transports listeners. I feel like it's a single that is, okay, these are my two like intros. Let's move forward to the second section of the album. It does feel like that, like a nice and a smooth transitioning single. Okay. It moves on to righteous from righteous.
Righteous, as in like the Bible, righteous men. Is it like that?
That word is really complicated to pronounce for me, as you may have noted by now. So, besides my issue pronouncing it, it is a very Neo single from him. And if you wonder what does that mean, just listen to it, you'll get it. And if you're an NCT fan, you'll get it 100%. Sick rapping, edgy beats, very Neo, very Mark. Next is the pre-release single, Frank. Again, we go with the hard names. Fractia, okay, pre-release song featuring Yoongi. Heavy in sharp rapping. It's just fantastic, amazing mixing. The chemistry between the two of them is just so good. Loved.
Yeah, I have no idea what that word means or how it's pronounced.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult, isn't it?
Very, yeah.
So next we have Rain Cover, which I think is a playful word between Vancouver and Vancouver. I'm not sure if it's Rain Cover or Vancouver, but I feel like it's Vancouver. This is how
maybe it's very rainy in Vancouver.
It might be. It was quite a surprise, to be honest, this single. It's a lot more soft somehow, and it almost falls into indie pop, which I was like, oh,
how lovely.
This is interesting. And it's just super lighthearted and super soft, and I really, really, really liked it. I want to talk about another couple because I could go full on with this album. Let's talk about Watching TV. This one features Crush. That intro, it is insane in this single. The intro is super smooth, very Crush as well. And this song is electro R&B. Love. The instrumentals are beautiful and the flow is super smooth. Mark and Crush are a duo that I did not expect, but it does work extremely well.
Yeah, I can imagine. I really have to listen to that album.
It's really good. It's really good. Moving on, I want to talk about two more tracks, actually. I can go in detail about all of them, but let's talk about the two more. I want to talk about Mom's Interlude. And as the name suggests, is Mark's mom. So this song is about them both having a conversation, like a very candid conversation. Behind it, you have very soft piano instrumentals. So it is such I don't know, it just felt really personal somehow. Yeah. And I was like, oh, but at the same time, I was like, this is so candid of him to put something like this in an album, So, and this song, it's second to last for the last one, is Too Much. It's packed in emotions, and it was a really nice transition between Mom's Interlude at Too Much. It just kind of closes the album. It's such a personal, well-rounded way that I loved it. Too Much, there is a amazing switch between rapping and vocals, and it just made this whole album wrap up in such a beautiful way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was my third album, actually, my third album.
Lovely. Shall I go next?
Yes, please, do so.
I want to talk about Ruby by Miss Jenny. Yes. She released her album in March, and it is an insane power move.
It is.
Crazy features.
Yes. High, like very famous, high level in the sense of popularity features, like high profile artists.
The best current artists, the best producers, the best mixing people. Like it's
a very impressive release. Yes.
So impressive. Yes. It's just overall it's super well crafted and it's a fantastic listen on its own. I am going to talk about a couple of tracks. I don't want to talk about all of them because this is going to be a very lengthy episode. Even lengthier than it is already going to be, I think. Let's talk about Intro Jane with FKJ, which stands for French Kiwi Juice, who's a fantastic ambient artist. He's French, as his name suggests. And it's just such a mesmerizing, dreamy, soft collab. Yeah. Beautiful opening to the album. And I was just very surprised that she would collab with FKJ, because I wouldn't have never thought that they would hang out in the same sphere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if you don't know FKJ, check out his live sessions on YouTube. I think there's one that's like the Ilang Ilang sessions. Amazing. Beautiful. Next up, I want to talk about Like Jenny.
Iconic,
exactly. Yes. Fantastic rap verses, insane chorus, a definite it girl moment.
100%.
Insane. My second favorite track of the album is Handlebars featuring Dua Lipa.
Iconic.
This is just such a nostalgic feel. It's just such a great pop track. It's catchy. Vocals are on like a good solid level. And it's a really, really nice listen.
Also the chemistry between them two.
Right?
Insane.
Wild. Yeah. My favorite track of the album is her collab with Doechii.
Oh, yes.
Extra L. This is just artistry.
Yes.
The music video as well. Like, insane.
Yes. The production.
Talented.
Insane.
Like, insert that Lady Gaga meme. You know?
Wonderful.
And then I want to talk about two more tracks, one of which is Damn Right featuring Childish Gambino and Kali Uchis. This is just sexy. Like, it's crazy. And then the last track I wanted to talk about is Soul City, which is also one of my favorite tracks. It's just so enchanting, and I'm a sucker for a well-implemented pause, which in this case is like a breath in the track, and it's just...
It's so good.
Beautiful. Yes. Yeah, this album went double platinum in South Korea and sold over 25,000 albums in the US. It's just, this is one of the albums that we are going to keep coming back to.
Yes, 100%.
Because it's just such a power
It's got such a replay quality in it that is insane.
Right?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways,
let's go for the next one. So here I'm talking about another album, which is an EP actually, and one of my favorites today by Kai. So let's talk about Kai's Wait on Me. So this marked his comeback after serving in the Korean military, and he delivered. Okay, so let's talk about a couple of the tracks. There's no information still about how many units he's sold. I suppose that it probably will go over the 250,000 because this full album was so popular in general. Okay.
Yeah.
So the first song, Wait on Me, the title track, Afrobeat goodness. And this man can do Afrobeat so well. Okay. It's so, so good. I cannot explain it, but as soon as this song plays, first of all, it has me wanting to grab a cocktail. Second of all, it's a
Oh,
total vibe, and I want to head straight into the dance floor. That's what this song does for me. It's vibey, it's fun, it feels very summery, it's smooth from start to end. Excellent title track. Okay, it does what it needs.
sounds like everything you need in a track.
Yeah, it does what it needs. It leaves an impact, and it has you wanting to dance.
Move your body.
Next up, I want to talk about Walls Don't Talk. This one, it's a toned down reggaeton vibe. Okay, this single is tropical, refreshing, and super vibey. I think he went for a more pre-summer release feel with this one. Love them. Pressure, which is the next song, it's a Latin inspired beats. It's super refreshing and it's just super, super cool. Okay, the layering in the song is fantastic, and there is instrumentals inclusions throughout the single that, as soon as it progresses, they are just so smooth inclusions and very, very sort of like unexpected somehow, because you have the Latin rhythms playing and then you have like these little instrumentals here and there. Fantastic build up as well. 10 out of 10. I want to talk about a couple more singles. Let's talk about actually there's one about the Jersey Club one. Flight to Paris. Jersey Club beats, every vocals. This is the last track of this release and it's super chill, very soft. And there is one actually that is Off and Away. I don't want to miss that one. Off and Away. It's a bit of an experience to listen to, because you cannot really identify the genre or where it's heading to. And then I had to do a bit of research on this. It's based on a South African subgenre of house music. It's called Amapiano.
Oh, interesting.
And I think I spoke about this also when we in our favorite monthly favorites. The percussions on this track are super, super good, and it's got this hypnotic tempo that it might come from the fact that I'm not really familiar with the genre, but it's such a captivating listen that I was like, oh my goodness, Kai, what are you doing to my brain? You know. So I think this album just shows off how well-rounded Kai is as an artist. He came back stronger than ever, and he basically created at any genre at this point. He's done a lot of things genre-wise with like EXO and as a soloist. So well done, Kai.
Thumbs up.
So what is your next album?
My next one is Reseen with their EP Glow Up. This is only their second comeback. I think they had their debut in 2024. And this is such a cute album. They have 5 tracks. They start with Crash, and this has like a really nice pop moment to it. The chorus is just everything for me. And they did some really nice vocal stacking, which creates this like really familiar feel to it. They have their title track Glow Up, which is a dance pop track with an unbelievably fun hook. As soon as I heard the title track, I was like, okay,
this is it.
This is my jam. It's playful, it's synthy, and they also released the English version of this track in their EP. The one note that I have is I'm very tired of the Why So Serious mentions in tracks. You know, the Joker thing? Yeah, it's been so long, I'm over it.
When you say Why So Serious, I can just think of G-Dragon too. He has that line in his crayon, so I literally did not relate it to the Joker.
I've heard it too much at this point. I need a break.
Fair enough.
And then maybe in like 5 years I can listen to it again. I also wanted to talk about Going On and In My Lotion. So Going On is like a disco vibe, great guitars. I'm ready for disco to come back. in K-pop.
Are we waiting for disco to come back? Wow.
You know what? I wouldn't be mad if disco came back.
Okay.
I know I
But
had,
not in an overdose type of way.
yeah, yeah, no, 20, what was it?
I think it was
2022,
2022, yeah.
maybe?
2022, 2023.
That was
the
disco
disco moment,
craziness.
yes.
Yeah. But now it's like very sparse with the disco
Fair enough.
moments. So, you know, a little bit of disco here and there is fine. And then In My Lotion is probably my second favorite track after the title track. And this has a Jersey Club rhythm.
Yeah.
Super cool guitars in the instrumentals and a very breezy flow, which really allows the vocal tones to come out. And it just, I am very curious to see where Racine is going with their sound. I think they're gonna do well.
Cool.
If they keep this up, yeah.
They keep it diverse and
High
fun.
hopes.
Okay.
Exactly.
So I will share my last EP of my favorite EP. Well, no, all of them are my favorites, but this is one of the last ones I want to share. And
your favorite?
I think that okay, the competition is rough because I can say it's my favorite, but they're all my favorites. You know what I mean?
True.
They have all been on solid on my repeat list for the last 6 months. You know. So it is a tough pick. Okay. So let's talk about Boy Next Door and their latest EP, No Genre. They continues to put out incredible music since their debut. I really like the sound of Boy Next Door, and this EP was no exception, hence why it's listed. So let's talk about a couple of tracks, okay? So I want to start with 1237H, which is the opening track, and it's all about good jazz and vintage pop. It is so good.
Nice.
This song is so soulful and it's packed with amazing vocalization, and it's a total gift to listeners. They sound mature, they sound like smooth, the full track is just iconic, okay? I Feel Good is the title track for this EP, and it keeps the signature feel of Boy Next Door. Very playful, very cool. I really like the balance between the rapping and the vocals, and I like how they use back vocals to complement each other's part. So it's got like a really nice mixing also on vocal and arrangement happening. So overall, a really cool listen. I want to talk about Step by Step, City Pop. I love when City Pop is thrown in an EP. I think that makes it for me. City Pop track, soft singing, fantastic instrumentals. This track is a little bit retro, okay? A lot of fun, and the solo guitar added in the bridge. It was such an iconic surprise. So imagine just listening to this retro city pop kind of track, and then you have a solo guitar for the actual bridge. Amazing. Amazing. Okay.
Nice.
Next up, I want to talk about Is That True? This single is funky, is fun, and it's got like a lovely and playful progression to it. And this one is, all of this is complemented with the members' playful tones and effortless group. Oh, it's also groovy. So the full thing, super cute. Next Mistake is in a song I want to talk about. It's lovely pop R&B. It's got like a catchy kick but smooth tunes, if you know what I mean. It just plays with those two type of vibes, and it's actually really, really good. The members totally killed it with their vocals, and I love the falsettos they put into this single. Last but not least for this release, I want to talk about If I Say I Love You, which is, this one has been out, I think, since December, and I am obsessed with that song. I love it. That song is also being, if I talk about the last 6 months, it's because of this song, actually. It was released in December, and it's just beautiful, it's fun, it's playful, and it just hits my heart. I love it.
Cute.
I love it. So tell me about your last song. Your last album.
My last album that I've had on repeat is Irene and Silgi's subunit with Tilt. This is their second mini album as a subunit, and I am just a little bit obsessed with them. Yeah. So Tilt is their title track, and it's a worthy successor of
Naughty.
Yeah. Why was I thinking 28 Reasons? That's our solo stuff. Yeah. No, of Naughty. This is pop dance meets R&B vocals, and it's a total earworm. Um, this they're such cool girls,
They
like the
are.
effortless cool
They are.
girls. They
They
have
are.
the je ne sais quoi, the X factor. It's we're just lowly mortals who are, yeah.
Oh my god.
Apologies. Um, yeah, I Tilt is just such a cool track. And did you see the teaser with the oyster?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, they had a teaser image with the oyster with like pearls.
Okay.
Beautiful. Amazing. I loved it. But then they had to delete it
Why?
because people were thinking dirty, dirty thoughts.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't know about that actually.
Regardless. Yeah. I love the oyster, okay? I thought it was super rad. I want to talk about two tracks, apart from the title track, that's Girl Next Door, which brings some love to the regular Girl Next Door. It's hang on. It's just super groovy.
Yeah.
And it's playful, it's groovy, it has the nice message of, admiring your girl next door that's not just, a regular girl. And then the last track I wanted to recommend is Trampoline, which is just a cool pop R&B blend. And they just do it so
Yeah,
well.
they do.
And I really enjoyed the blend of like the synths and the piano. Super nice. The only thing I'm sad about is that it is so short.
Yeah, I mean, Silgi and Irene are such an iconic subunit, and also Red Velvet is so good at these pop R&B mix.
Yeah,
Ah,
they
love
are
them.
queens.
Absolutely. Okay.
Hyped.
So with that, actually, we're wrapping up our favorite K-pop albums of the first half of 2025. Yeah, so I think that there's been a lot more albums out there, but these ones I think that made it for us overall, and they have
Yeah.
a lot of on repeat tracks on our
Mhm.
playlist, personal playlist actually.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
these are albums that actually I actually go back to all of these ones most of the time. And
Same.
we'll also
Yeah.
reviewed all of these ones at thekmail.com, so make sure to check our reviews of these albums over there. We are in TikTok, Instagram, everywhere as at thekmail.com. And this was our favorites of the first half of 2025 of DisKovery with a K. Bye bye.